Hey guys, so yes, this morning, in case you guys don't know, they did release the newest trailer for Transformers Rise of the Beast. Now, of course, I'm not going to be showing any, actual footage or anything because, of course, with YouTube and its algorithm and stuff like that, I don't want to take a chance at copyright and, getting struck or anything like that. So I'm just going to give you my thoughts on what this new trailer has shown us. And first of all, I'm going to say, holy crap, this trailer has definitely, if you weren't excited about this film, at first because, pretty much you might be fatigued out with Transformer films and everything, I think this may have basically re-energized your interest because, this gave us a lot here. This gave us a lot more than the first one, of course. It showed us exactly what we're going to be, seeing in the film and all that. First of all, let's start with the end of the trailer where they show Mirage giving Anthony Ramos's character Noah, they're giving him, a key, but it's actually, a nano suit. It is actually, if you're a fan of Transformers for as long as I've been, it is actually an exosuit. It is an exosuit being showcased at the end of this trailer here. And it seems that that's going to help the humans in the battle against the Terracons and everything. It's going to allow them to help the Autobots and the Maximals in the fight. But outside of that, we did get more information of what the storyline is here. The Maximals have been on the planet for centuries, almost basically since the beginning of time. If you go and watch the Beast Wars, basically that pretty much tells you the tale that these are Autobots, Transformers from the future that went through a warp, I guess you could say a time warp or something, a warp ring, ended up back in time, in prehistoric time, and have, according to this movie, have been here since then. So you basically had these characters, the Maximals of, Optimus Primal, Air Razor, Cheetor, Rhinox. They've been on the planet for centuries, like I said, almost since the beginning of time. And now they're going to be crossing over with the Autobots and everything. And the reason they're crossing over with them is not just because we have the Terracons coming in, not Decepticons, not Predacons, Terracons. The leader known as Scourge being voiced by Peter Dinklage. Excuse me. I apologize if I butchered the last name there. But Peter Dinklage. Of course they're going to be facing off with them and everything. And again, like I said, it's not the Decepticons, not the Predacons, it's the Terracons with Scourge. I guess that's the interpretation. I guess he's the leader, like I said, of the Terracons. This is their interpretation of the Scourge character. But they're not here basically to fight and conquer the world. No. Basically, they're here to help bring in, get this, Unicron. That's right, Unicron from the Transformers film. We've seen him in other interpretations as well from anime and all that. But yes, Unicron is finally making his live-action feature film debut. He was teased, of course, in one of the later Michael Bay films of Transformers. I think it was like the third one or the fourth one he was teased in. Now we are finally getting him. And just by the looks of it, they have definitely, done their work. They've definitely done the study, because this looks like a almost true to form live action version of the Unicron character we have seen in the '86 film. We have seen in Armada and Energon and all that. This is almost basically, to me, detail by detail, a live action version of Unicron. So I cannot wait for that, and it definitely looks like they're going to go the transforming route with him being a big robot, sometime during the film. Now, I've heard what others have said, like 3C Films. They feel like, okay, we're seeing Unicron here. He's got somebody voicing him, but we're not going to get a full, experience of him just yet until later on. I don't think that's going to be the case. I don't think that's going to be the case because they haven't confirmed yet if we're going to get any more live-action Transformer films after this. Because one of the plot points here is they're looking for these transwarp gems, the kind of like transwarp rings, like what we saw in Beast Wars, which brought them over here, which caused basically the Maximals and the Predacons to travel back in time in Beast Wars. Here, you'll notice transwarp, I guess, gems or something like that will allow Autobots and, Predacons and Maximals to travel back and forth. And I guess the plot point here, from what some people are assuming, is that it's going to be, something that the Maximals want to get a hold of so they can go back into the future, into their own time, because they've been on our planet for so long, and also allow the Autobots to do the same thing, and then kind of softly reset, the entire Transformers timeline and everything. Because, in the trailer, when Optimus sees that Mirage has brought the Noah character into the hiding area, the temporary HQ, he's not too pleased about it. But some have speculated that's going to basically be the basis of him being receptive of humans in the 2007 film, which was the first Michael Bay film. This is going to be the catalyst. This is going to be the foundation of him being trusting and accepting of humans. Especially when it comes to the 2007 film, if basically the main goal of this film is to help softly reset the entire series so that it makes sense in some chronological fashion. Because this one here, this film, supposed to take place in 1994. The Bumblebee film, which is kind of a sequel to, took place around 1984 or 1985. So this is taking place about 10 years later. So it's going to be really interesting how they kind of, use this to softly reset everything so that from a chronological standpoint, it'll basically be like, okay, Bumblebee first, Rise of the Beast second, and then we hit the Bayformer films, as they would put it. And if this is it, if this is the last one for a while, if not permanently, what a way to go out, saving the best for last, bit, that being Unicron. I mean, it might even, in a way, make sense as to why Unicron basically was discovered to be embedded into our world. Basically, because in one of the Bay films, they hinted at the fact that Unicron was our world. Our world was Unicron. He embedded himself into the world. So maybe this movie will answer how that happens and thus also cause the soft reset down the line. But yeah, I'm looking forward to this. They did a lot here. We got to see, we got better looks of, like I said, the Maximals. We actually got to hear Air Racer speak. I think the voice of Air Racer fits her perfectly. I'm not saying it's the same voice actress, but it's identical to the one that did the voice of Air Racer in Beast Wars. So I'm glad to see that. We didn't hear RC speak, but I guarantee you she's going to be speaking unless she's going to be a mute. Hopefully that's not the case. But yeah, I am looking forward to this. The last closing shot they gave us was that war that we saw, more of an expansion of that war scene that we saw, or battle scene we saw in the first trailer. And it does look like the transwarp gem, or whatever it is, teleported the Terracons, the Maximals, the Autobots, and the human allies to a distant planet. We don't know if maybe it's on top of we don't know if maybe that planet is Unicron, or it's a planet Unicron's going to consume. We're not sure yet. But I can guarantee that we will, speaking of Unicron, I guarantee, we see a face. We see his face basically briefly in the trailer. We're going to get full robot Unicron here, guaranteed. Because again, why would you showcase him and then people, like I said, they're speculating, he's going to be saved for a movie or two after. No, you're teasing him. You're showing him now. You showing him now. He's going to be in the movie. Not only is he going to be voiced in the movie, he's going to transform in the movie. That is a fact. I have a feeling that's what's going to happen. Because why show him as the true threat and not basically have him transform into a robot and then use this to reset everything. To softly reset everything to where, like I said, when you have this movie physically in your hand on Blu-ray or 4K and you put it in as part of your collection, chronologically you switch that all around and you're going to go Bumblebee, Rise of the Beast, Transformers, Revenge of the Fallen, Transformer, what is it, Transformers 3, hold on. Like you got, like chronologically it's going to be like this. It's going to be Bumblebee, Transformers Rise of the Beast, Transformers Revenge of the Fallen, Transformers Dark of the Moon, Transformers Age of Extinction, Transformers The Last Night. That's how it's going to go. That is how it's going to go, basically, chronologically. Because I got a feeling this is going to be the one that resets things. This is going to be the one that softly resets things, and as far as live action goes, that's going to be it. Because if the plan going forward starting next year is to do a trilogy of animated Transformer films, similar in the CGI style that we saw in Bumblebee, at the beginning there, if not close to it, then I think this is it. I think this is it, in my opinion. But overall, whatever they do afterwards, I am looking forward to this. I'm looking forward to seeing this film. I know it's going to be over 2 hours long. There's no doubt about that, because they cannot crunch all that into like an hour and 15 minutes. This thing's going to be over 2 hours, period. I can already see that. But yeah, I cannot wait for this. Again, if you weren't too excited about it first, at first with the first trailer, this trailer to me definitely got you excited. But let me know what your thoughts are, guys. Comment below, live chat during the premiere, like the video. Love to hear from each and every one of you. How do you feel about Transformers Rise of the Beast's newest trailer? What did you notice in there that got you excited? And do you think this will be the last one for quite some time, if not period? Because we might get that soft reset at the end. Let me know down below and in the comments and in the live chat. And until then, talk to you later.